Hola chicos y chicas. In this video, we're going to talk about words that describe you and me, also known as adjectives. Adjectives are words that blank people and things. Adjectives are words that describe people and things. Most Spanish adjectives have blank forms. They have two forms, and those two forms are masculine and feminine. Masculine adjectives are used with blank nouns. Masculine adjectives are used with masculine nouns. What that means is this. Here's an example. We have Tomás es blank. Well, Thomas is a masculine noun. He's a boy. So we use a masculine adjective. So if we want to say Thomas is tall, we say Tomás es alto. It's that simple. Masculine noun, masculine adjective. Feminine adjectives are used with blank nouns. Well, feminine adjectives are used with feminine nouns. So here's an example. Susana is blank. If we want to say Susana is tall, we can't use alto. We use alta with an A because Susana is a feminine noun. We use a feminine adjective. So very simple, right? Masculine nouns go with masculine adjectives and feminine nouns go with feminine adjectives. So alto, guapo, atractivo, all masculine because they end with an O, but alta, guapa, and atractiva end with an A, so they are feminine. They go with feminine nouns, such as girls, women. Now, even though masculine nouns and feminine nouns are very easy to recognize, there are some exceptions to the rule. Not all adjectives end with an O or an A. Some end in different letters. Adjectives that end in blank can be used for both. Adjectives that end in E can be used for both. So let's look at the example. We have Marcos es blank and Elena is blank. Well, if there's an adjective that ends with an E, it can be used for both. And we do know an adjective that ends with an E. Let's use inteligente. So we can say Marcos es inteligente. And for Elena, we just leave it exactly the same. Elena es inteligente. We do not change the E to an A. Why? Because the rule states that adjectives that end in an E don't change. They can be used for both. However, there is another exception to the rule. Yay! Adjectives that end in a blank can be used for both. Adjectives that end in a consonant can be used for both. So, here's the example. Marcos es blank y Elena es blank. An adjective that ends with a consonant, that is any other letter than a vowel. So, let's use one that we're familiar with, cruel. Marcos es cruel, and Elena is cruel as well. See, notice that ends with an L, a consonant. We leave it the same. We don't change it to an A for these. Those are the two exceptions to the O for boy and A for girl adjectives. Again, two exceptions. So those are those two exceptions that we're going to learn that break that rule that an O adjective has to be used with a boy and an A adjective has to be used with a girl. Those two exceptions are the adjectives that end with E and those adjectives that end in a consonant like cruel. Plurals. To use adjectives with more than one person. Now, I did say and I did mention that there are two exceptions to the O for boy and A for girl adjective rule. However, there's another unique twist about Spanish adjectives. We also change them when we are talking about multiple people. In English, we don't do that. We could say, he is tall. And if it's a group of boys, we could say, they are tall. The word tall does not change. In Spanish, when we talk about multiple people, the adjective is going to turn into its plural form. So let's check that out. We add an S or an ES if it ends with a consonant. Very simple. Works like this. Ellos son antipático. Hold it. Antipáticos. We add an S because it ends in a vowel. The second way to do this is ellas son. And then we're going to write a adjective that ends with a consonant. So let's go with ellas son cruel. We're not done. Crueles. We add an ES because it ended with a consonant. Very simple, right? I know. If it ends with a vowel, we add an S. Alto, altos. Bajo, bajos. But if it ends with a consonant, we add an ES. Cruel, crueles. Now let's put everything together in this chart. Just for reference, we're going to be using two charts. Chart number 1 is going to be used for an adjective that ends with a vowel. And chart number 2 will use it for an adjective that ends with a consonant. So let's try that. Example here, let's use bajo, which means short. So masculine singular will be bajo, just like the one we wrote. The plural form, when there's multiple people, multiple boys, or a mixed group, we say bajos. We add an S. The feminine form, this O is going to turn into an A. So for a girl, it will be baja, short. Multiple girls will be bajas. For this example, let's use the word we've been using, cruel, which ends with an L. Okay, so its singular masculine form is going to be cruel. Its plural form is going to be crueles. We add an ES, remember, because it ends with the consonant. So we add an ES because it's plural. The feminine singular form does not change, remember, because it ends with the consonant. And its plural form, it's going to be just like the masculine above, crueles. So there it is, adjectives in Spanish. Remember, most Spanish adjectives do end with O or A. Most of them do end with O or A. Those are simple. Those are easy to use. However, remember those little exceptions. Those that end with E can be used for both. Those that end with consonants can be used for both. And don't forget that to make adjectives plural when talking about a group of people, we turn the adjectives to plural. We add an S if it ends with the vowel, and we add an ES if it ends with the consonant. That's it. Adios.